Hey everybody, welcome back. Jordan here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new LEGO Marvel Venom. Assembled from the Spider-Man universe. This thing is awesome. Oh, look how vicious he looks. It just displays so well. Comes in the 18 plus style packaging, which is just gorgeous. 76187 is the set number. 565 pieces. He's staring you down on the side of the box there. And then we get a nice side profile of Venom on the back of the box there. You can see his tongue just coming out of his mouth there. It's fantastic. Look at the jaw and the teeth within. Whew. Awesome. We've got a picture of some Venom comic books on the bottom here. In between that, you can see the size of the model, which is 19 centimeters or 7 inches tall. And it's pretty glorious. Comes with a basic style instruction manual here. Got Venom on the front there. You can download your digital instructions by using the QR code in the bottom right corner, of course. You can meet the designer in the inside. It says, "This venomous model will grow on you." You can see the designer is assembling the model in this picture here. The build is split into 3 different stages. Pretty basic, you know, standard LEGO instruction manual with, of course, your parts list on the back. I am thrilled with this thing. It looks great. There it is. Let's have a closer look at it. So Venom is part of our second wave of Marvel helmets / heads coming out here in April of 2021. And of course, we got the Marvel Iron Man helmet that came out in 2020. Venom's being released with Carnage as well. This thing is incredible. I don't think they could have done a better job on it. It's immaculate. It just looks so terrifying and depicts Venom perfectly, and it just displays so well. I think the first thing we got to take a look at is the mouth. It is amazing. You can actually see these teeth here are actually sailboat elements. I remember using those in some sort of RV set or something like that. Built a little kid's sailboat, and those are in tan color. Also, we have this large rubberized tooth right here. So a nice combination of parts being used to create all sorts of different teeth, and they're sort of posed within his mouth in different ways to create just a venomous mouth, which is just terrifying. Got the large tongue that, of course, can be rotated in however which way you want. Obviously, Venom's tongue will move. So that looks great. And there's actually a lot more detail in the mouth than what meets the eye. You can see there's some pink elements here, like the gums for the teeth, and also some red elements inside. There's actually more than that. There's a lot of this yellow, it's trans yellow elements in there. It's like poles and cones and even 1x1 pieces embedded into his gums. And that represents Venom in his mouth, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. That's a nice added detail. And actually, I didn't see that detail when looking at the box art and at the images online. And that Venom in his mouth is actually extended onto the base or stand just right behind his nameplate here, which is a print piece. So you got those trans yellow or green elements right here that are just sort of coming out of his mouth. The bottom of his jaw here is just covered up with a panel, and his jaw is formed by building one section of the jaw and then another section, and then using this element right here to sort of connect it all together. It is stationary, it does not move. You've got his eyes here that are built using some tiles and some curved tiles. Interestingly enough, this eye is different. It's got a stud here, and then this one does not. So you build them using different parts and pieces, and you've got these at a perfect angle just above his eye there to fill in that space nicely. These are actually just loosely put on there, just held in by 2 studs. As you can see, that popped off pretty easily there, and it just sort of pops back on and covers it up there. But they're at a nice angle using those clip pieces. You've got a car hood right there between his 2 eyes on his forehead. And his head uses a great combination of studs and also smooth finish. I really like that. I don't like it when it's too many studs. I don't want it to be all smooth. I think it's nice to use a combination of textures. And they do that using tiles, bricks, Stud pieces, of course, plates. You got cheese wedges in the back of his eye here. You've got all sorts of slopes and unique elements on the back of his head. And it just looks fantastic. Just all the different combinations of parts and pieces that they use to create this look is simply incredible. You got some slopes on the back here. Just the angles that they're able to achieve is fantastic. And of course, the way they do that is this is essentially like one giant snot ball, like all of these helmets are. And what I mean by snot is studs not on top. Inside, underneath all of this stuff, or these panels that go on there to create his head, there's going to be some exposed studs or snot bricks. And a nice detail that is really cool with this model is you'll see that these snot bricks right here are pink and yellow and red. Most of the time you're like, oh, I don't really like that. It should be black, so that if you can see through any of the cracks that you don't see those weird random colors. But when you take this panel and just watch how nicely it goes back on there and just sort of seals in all of these different angles here, you can see all the different angles and how they're achieved, and this just covers them up perfectly. But the funny thing about the pink inside is when you look right here, you can actually see inside his head through this little opening right there. And the funny thing is the color that you see is actually pink, so it's almost like you're looking into his head and seeing Venom's brains within. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty clever. Obviously, they use that pink piece for a reason there. There's no reason they would use a hot pink piece like that if you couldn't go in there and see his brains. So it's pretty awesome. Just the teeth and the mouth and the big overbite from his jaw and the tongue sticking out and the venom inside and it just sort of pouring out of the bottom of his mouth behind that display stand, and the angles that they're able to achieve. And just like everything about this set is just so awesome. It comes on the nice display stand. It's going to look brilliant beside the Carnage one and the Iron Man one, and even beside the Star Wars helmets if you want. This thing is just epic. It just depicts Venom in just such a perfect way. And oh my gosh, it might even be one of my favorite helmets. I definitely like it more than the Iron Man helmet. It might even be my favorite. It's so different, you know. It's got the open mouth and there's all these unique parts used to create this just scary looking creature that's just so vicious in the comics and in the movie. It's incredible. I can't believe that Lego actually made a set like this, because Venom, let's face it, is a pretty violent character in the Marvel universe and in comic books and stuff like that. So I'm actually surprised that they even made these. And the fact that we got Carnage and also Carnage and also Venom before we even got Spider-Man, I don't know. I mean, does this mean that we're going to get Spider-Man in the future? I don't see why we wouldn't. I think the possibilities of what they could do with this is endless. I would like to see, you know, Captain America shield. We're getting the Batman cowl soon. There's all sorts of stuff that they could do. But I love this set. The box art is clean. The box is crisp. The build is amazing. It's spectacular. I'm overwhelmed by it. It's amazing. Let me know what you think of it by commenting below. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys real soon. Peace out.